WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Scott Martin. A Starkville man is behind bars charged with sexual battery. Starkville police arrested Vernon D. Howell in connection with a Thursday night incident. Howell's bond is set at $5,000. He faces a September 18th court date in Starkville Municipal Court. SPD is still investigating the case. Anyone with information is asked to call Starkville Police or Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. The Union County Sheriff says 2 men were arrested for selling unrefrigerated meat out of their vehicle without a license. Mark Lee Jarvis of South Haven and Mark Andrew Matag of West Memphis, Arkansas were arrested earlier this week. Union County Sheriff Jimmy Edwards says the 2 were selling unrefrigerated meat out of their vehicle to senior citizens in remote areas. Well, both men were busted a week before after selling meat to an elderly man, then going back to his home and telling him his check was no good. He wrote them another check. Well, Sheriff Edwards says the second arrests carry more charges.
We'd like to urge the public to be on watch out for these individuals, and if they're in Union County, certainly call us and we'll come out and deal with them.
Men have bonded out. Sheriff Edwards says they will have to return to their court date. Clay County Sheriff's investigators need your help tracking down this man. Stephon Cox is wanted for 1 count of burglary. No other information about the case is available. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Cox, call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers or the Clay County Sheriff's Department. Time now to get a first look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, it's Friday. How is the weekend looking?
That is the million-dollar question on this Friday, Scott. First, let's talk about today, what we have seen. Some clouds, some showers out there, even some thunder showers this evening. That really has come to an end. So that was our Alpha Insurance time-lapse from Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. Right now, as we check out our live Doppler radar, a clean sweep out there. We may see some low clouds and patchy fog develop later tonight. And we're looking at temperatures right now in the 70s. We're going to take it down a few more degrees. And then tomorrow, your Saturday, here's the start of the weekend. Your Saturday, upper 80s, humid, more scattered storms possible. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Keith. Changes in alcohol sale restrictions in Starkville could be changing in the university town. It's a hot topic right now with city leaders. Our Quentin Smith has details.
I am beginning to see that the movement for activity is going away from downtown, and I'm trying to do the best I can to keep us alive after 5 is basically my desire.
Starkville Mayor Lynn Spruill is looking for ways to keep the downtown area vibrant, and she believes a change in the alcohol ordinance could be the answer.
I just think this is an opportunity for us to continue our progression toward an economic development, or well-rounded economic development.
One of the mayor's proposed changes would allow businesses to sell alcohol until 1 a.m. each day of the week.
With the satellite and all of that sort of thing, where you get those late night football games that are West Coast games, and they want to be able to continue to offer things to their customers, and I want to give them every opportunity to be successful.
Her second proposed change would allow businesses to serve beer with 8% alcohol content. The mayor also wants to change the proximity from churches and schools for businesses that sell alcohol.
The distance to our main street from all of those is impacted or is less than the 250 feet that we currently have in our ordinance, and it impacts our ability to have restaurants in our downtown, and that is a very critical element to me of keeping our downtown vibrant.
But while Spruill thinks these changes would be beneficial for the city, Vice Mayor Roy A. Perkins says he isn't so sure.
Having establishments that sell alcohol, whiskey, beer, or wine in such close proximity to a church is frowned upon by God. As a result, I am compelled by my religious and Christian beliefs to respectfully oppose said measure.
The first public hearing will take place during the board's meeting in September. Firefighters in New Albany will get new equipment thanks to a FEMA grant. The New Albany Fire Department was approved for a 2016 Assistance to Firefighters grant. Well, that grant totals $112,000 and will pay for 16 self-contained breathing apparatus units. The fire chief says the new equipment will allow every firefighter to have the same type of tanks.
Having a standardized, efficient system of those, we can swap bottles pack to pack. We don't have to worry about the issues of pressure and non-standardization, because we've looked at pretty much a basic pack. There's a lot of options that we may add on, we may not.
The city's share of the grant is $5,300. The Winston County Medical Center received a big award. The Mississippi Hospital Association presented the hospital with the 2017 Most Outstanding Rural Hospital Award. This regional award highlights what the medical center has done to help enhance health care in the area during the last several years. Chief Executive Officer Paul Black says he is honored to work with the Winston Medical Center staff.
It's a lot of pride. A lot of pride and appreciation. I couldn't be any prouder of a group of people than I am of this group that I've been fortunate enough to work with for the last 6 years. It's really humbling to be at that point in time.
The hospital was rebuilt after the original structure was destroyed in the 2014 tornado. Hundreds were expected to help fight against cancer in Starkville tonight. Relay for Life kicked off at the Horse Park. Friends, family, and even complete strangers were there to raise money for cancer research. It's the largest fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. It's a way cancer survivors like Caleb Rich fight to find a cure.
It really means something to be able to do your part to fight back. And, we may not be the doctors and scientists doing the research and giving the medicine, but this is our way to fight back and cure it.
This year's theme was Heroes for Hope. So far, they've raised just over $31,000. Habitat for Humanity, Starkville, and Mississippi State volunteers are teaming up to help a mom and her 2 kids. A groundbreaking ceremony was held this morning for the 9th annual Maroon Edition Habitat for Humanity home. The Owen Street house will be built by volunteers, and Karima Gillen, Habitat for Humanity, and MSU leaders were there to officially kick off construction. Gillen says she's excited about her family's future home.
I'm ecstatic. I'm more than blessed at the moment. I've always been wanting the things that I want for my kids. Everything I do for my children, and this is more than a blessing.
It's a rewarding experience for us. It helps get our students more civically engaged, more connected to our community, and hopefully they'll go on to do more service throughout their academic career.
MSU donated $5,000 to the organization. Construction is expected to be complete later this year during the holidays.
We've got some rain and storms in the forecast for our area this weekend. Same story down along the Gulf Coast and Gulf Shores, upper 80s. A chance for showers and storms. Go figure, right? Hard for me to think about what's going on. Anyway, your full forecast is coming up next. Stay with us.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
A little bit of a faint rainbow spotted north of Columbus this evening right there. Hard to tell, but there it is with one of those dying showers we had about 7 o'clock this evening. And then after those went away, we had a pretty nice sunset. Check out that view from Fayette County, Alabama. A fiery sunset there as the sun was going down on our Friday. Now let's talk about Saturday. 9 o'clock tomorrow, probably mostly cloudy, 78 degrees. Can't rule out a stray shower tonight or tomorrow morning. The better rain chances will be during the afternoon hours into the early evening, much like the last couple of days. Highs in the mid and upper 80s. Some of you could get to 90. At this point, we're just going to ballpark 85 to about 89 degrees, give or take across our region. But yeah, there could be a 90-degree reading, maybe 91, much like what we had out there today. This is our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Columbus. You can see some of these clouds that we're building this evening. Pretty ominous looking leading edges. Some of this is right there. Looked like we had a wall of rain and wind coming our way, but really gave rise to very little wind and just a few isolated heavy downpours. And right now we have no concerns. A clean sweep with our live Doppler radar this evening. There are some heavier storms down there southwest of Jackson. Also a few blips up there still in Memphis. So some of that could rotate on down. But for the most part, the next 12 hours fairly benign for us. But we may pop some of those showers and storms tomorrow in the region, especially from our area to our east, to our south, right there along the Gulf Coast. There will be some slightly drier air that may invade parts of Arkansas, West Tennessee, and we may tap into a little bit more of that on Sunday. So the better rain chance this weekend may be Saturday versus Sunday. And don't forget, tomorrow night will be the peak of the Perseid meteor shower. So assuming we do see some storms tomorrow, during the evening, we'll tend to thin out those clouds, and you should be able to see a few of those tomorrow evening. And it's actually going on right now, too, so you may see a few of those tonight. Here's that frontal boundary tomorrow just hanging out. Much like it's been doing the last couple of days, we've had these boundaries in place, and that's why we may see some additional showers and storms. We've got that sitting overhead, some juiced up atmosphere in place too, and the front just kind of meanders here on our Sunday, so there will be a chance for some rain this weekend. But as I just mentioned, perhaps a better chance Saturday versus Sunday, so that Sunday icon could be a little bit misleading at this point. We'll see about that though. Just have a backup plan. Mid-80s Monday and Tuesday with a slightly better opportunity for some showers and storms. And then, Scott, it looks like the pattern may shift a little bit back to the warmer side of the equation. Low 90s by Thursday and Friday.
It seems like the whole country is going eclipse crazy. We have some tips for viewing it safe after the break.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Millions of Americans will be staring up at the sky on August 21st to catch a glimpse of a rare solar eclipse. You need special eyewear to watch it safely, but be careful. There are a lot of fakes, and they can be more than an inconvenience. They can be dangerous.
They actually have instructions on them too.
The Natural History Museum in Providence got 1,000 pairs of safety glasses for museum goers who are hoping to see the solar eclipse on August 21st.
Starting at 1:47. Keeping our fingers crossed the weather cooperates, we'll be able to start seeing the partial solar eclipse happening. It's a chance for people to be part of history.
Renee Gamba is the director of the museum. She says interest in the eclipse and the special eyewear is spiking.
A lot of people are asking where to get the glasses. There are places online, but one thing that you have to be sure is that they are proper.
These eclipse glasses are the real deal, but the American Astronomical Society is warning of fakes that could hurt your eyes.
You see this little whitening. It's a sunburn in your eye.
Dr. Vin Tran says the damage could be permanent if you use fake glasses or no glasses at all.
Any direct line of sight towards the eclipse and the sun is going to be damaging to the eyes. UV rays can damage any tissue on the body. Unlike the skin, which can somewhat repair itself, the eyes have a hard time doing that.
So to make sure your glasses meet international safety standards, check for this certified ISO logo and the number 12312-2.
Just take a peek.
And when you look through the glasses, regular light shouldn't be visible.
Well, Tupelo students get an out-of-this-world science lesson. The University of Mississippi Center for Math and Science brought its mobile planetarium to Lahone Elementary. All students were able to see the display, learn about our solar system and neighboring ones, and find out about space science. In their classrooms, students are learning about Earth and space to start the school year.
I'm a visual learner, and I've learned that most of my kids are visual learners, so seeing it visually, and the moon looked like it was going to hit you, and they got to see the different planets and storms, and we're just hopeful that they get to actually understand it better.
We went to a portable planetarium, and we looked at stars, we saw the moon, we saw the surface of the moon, including an astronaut.
From Math and Science takes the portable planetarium to schools throughout our region. Football is back in North Mississippi. Jamborees happening all over the area. See the highlights next in sports.
Here's WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
So happy to announce high school football is finally back. Jamborees all over our area tonight and some had the chance to play under the lights in Davis-Wade Stadium. To the New Hope Jamboree in Starkville, Shannon playing their first game of 2017 without Cameron Billups, who died in a car accident in April. But the Red Raiders came out flying. Jordan Gilliland finds Eric Rogers, slips some tacklers, 60 yards to the barn, touchdown. Shannon up 7-0. Columbus driving in the first. LT Stowers, he's going to find Kenneth Martin, who's going to reach for the pylon, but the ball is loose, and it's picked up by Pashawn Cooper, who's going to follow an envoy 99 yards to the house. Red Raiders capitalize, Columbus with the heartbreaker, but the Falcons respond. The first play of their ensuing drive, DeVarcus Ramsey takes it to the house, 75 yards. This one was a barn burner, I should say. So that'd cut in, make it 14-7. But Shannon looks strong, win 35-13 in a two-quarter Jamboree win over Columbus. To game 2, Houston Hilltoppers taking on the defending 3A state champs from Kemper County. Toppers right off the gates. Uriah Shepard, a dime to Jylan Davidson. That's a beauty. And 6 points. Houston leads 7-0. Kemper would score on the next drive, but then the rain came. And so did Houston's defense. This is going to be Bobby Townsend coming up with the pick. And on the ensuing drive, the Hilltoppers would answer. Quentin May, the big fella, rumbling through the tackles, evading. He's going to take it 85 yards. It's going to make it rain over in Starkville. 14-6 Houston. Toppers, they weren't done just yet. They would add another score in the second quarter. Shepard, he's going to find Jalen May through the air. May's going to do all of it himself. Houston, very strong in the second game. They beat Kemper County 20-6. And to the finale, New Hope taking on Amory. Battle of 4A teams. It'd be the Trojans to strike first. A beautiful run pass option from Kyrie Fields to Jamarcus Selvey, who does the rest. 75 yards to the house. The boys putting on a show in Starkville tonight. But Amory hits right back. Hunter Jones, he's going to bubble screen to Manny Jones. Look at Manny turn on the Jets. He is loose, but he'd be tackled just inside the 5. And that would set up J.J. Jernigan, the big fella, rumbling in for the 6th. No helmet, no problem. Be a tie ball game in the first quarter. But then New Hope, they would have the last laugh. Kyrie Fields, he's going to keep it on an 8-yard scamper, showing off the muscle. New Hope comes away with a 14-7 win over Amory. Over to Aberdeen, the Bulldogs hosting East Webster. This one, back and forth we go. Bulldogs strike first. A beautiful pass on the rollout from Fred Fields. Look at this one, finds Isaiah McMillan for the big gain. Bulldogs in business. That would set up this Brandon Williams. He's going to get the little pitch out to the left. He's going to do the rest. 9-yard score for the Bulldogs. They strike first. But East Webster, hey, anything you can do, we can do better, they say. Charlie Brand on the rollout. Opposite side, he's going to drop a dime right into the midst of Kevon Patterson for the big gain. That would set up this, or after a 4th down, I should say. Charlie Brand, he's going to scamper on in for 6. Both teams very competitive in this one. No score was kept track, just great football in Aberdeen. Go over to Nanawaya, facing off against Choctaw County. This one a barn burner. Second quarter we go. Bryce Stanton back-to-back. He gets in a bit of trouble. The Chargers defense all over him. Great defense by the Chargers here early on. But later on, there were some storms in the area and lightning would strike. Chris Smith, you're going to hear that name very often on the end zone this upcoming year. 63 yards to the house. Nanawaya leads 7-0 after forcing a Choctaw County 3 and out. It'd be the Warriors back in business. Stanton back to pass. Look at this dime. Just right into the hands of Isaac Elan for 35 yards. 13-0 Warriors lead, and that's how it would end after 2 quarters. Nanawaya gets the W 13-0. Warriors open their season Thursday at Hatley. To Okolona we go. The Chieftains hosting a jamboree. First up, West Lowndes. Jacorius Stanfield, have mercy, scoots right past the defender, races up the sideline. 6 points and a score. Chieftains, they lead 6-0. But here, it gets weird. West Lound needing a goal line stop. Okolona getting fancy. A double reverse leads to a fumble. And here goes Dravion Lucius. He's going to race down the sideline looking to tie it up. Last play, but he'd be tackled at the 1-yard line. And that is how it would end. Okolona wins 6-0. Chieftains weren't done just yet. They're going to face off against the Nettleton Tigers. Deontay Hampton, the big fella, he's going to rumble down the left side. He's going to stiff arm a young fella, trounce down to the 1-yard line. That would set up Jacob Buchanan. He's like, thank you very much. He's going to scoot in for 6. So Okolona up 7-0. Tigers trying to answer. Colton Osborne, he's going to find Jadarius Johnson on the out route. Johnson trying to make something happen. He's tackled, and that wouldn't lead to any points. So Okolona's defense pitches the Jamboree shutout. They lock down Nettleton 7-0. Folks, I have to tell you how happy it is to be doing all these highlights yet again on a Friday night for you. And this time, next week, first end zone of the 2017 season. It's going to be an absolute barn burner. Looking forward to some more Jamboree highlights coming up tomorrow from Starkville as well. That's it for sports. Last Severe Forecast next.
Hey, the weekend is here. Don't forget to join Amanda for the updated forecast this weekend. She'll be tracking some of these showers and storms. The heat stays with us, humidity as well. It's going to be one of those soupy, summery weekends. And just have an umbrella or a plan B in case one of those heavy downpours comes your way.
Soupy is a good way to put it, though, I think. It
I
gets
can go
real
for it.
humid.
You know, I had a bowl of soup last Friday, but it's almost too hot for soup.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No soup. All right.
Couple
Thanks,
months from
Keith.
now.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great weekend, everyone.